Welcome back to my second ever ABC Summer Fun and Games predictions video. It was somehow predictable then unexpected. One of the shows that I inducted came to reality, and one of them was hosted by Gina Rodriguez of last year. The only thing I predicted perfectly was Pressure Luck at 8/7 Central. On Thursdays, not every time I predicted it perfectly, but it was worth it. Last year, I made my very first ABC Summer Fun and Games predictions back on March 2024. Not everything is going to be perfect, but this reminds me of The Simpsons predictions. This year, it's been 10 years since the ABC Summer Fun and Games block has been debuted since 2015. June 21st, 2015. And last, there was an unexpected return of a game show that has been gone for 3 years. If you want some more info about this, please let me know. Unlike last year's, we'll predict and divide up to multiple parts. The first part, we'll talk about the returning games. We'll talk about Pressure Luck, Millionaire, and onwards. This is part 1. Without further ado, it's time for the main event. Let's talk about game shows that I want to see return. Those games I do want to see return is Celebrity Family Feud, The $100,000 Pyramid, Pressure Luck, Claim to Fame, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Jeopardy Masters, and Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. Now, let's talk about these games that shouldn't return. Okay, hear me out. Let's talk about these 2 games that shouldn't return. Means that there won't be predicted into this summer block in the future. The first game show that won't be returning this year when it comes to predictions, it was not the cancellation of a game show. Speaking of, I'll talk about it later. The one and only game show have finally predicted in one of my prediction videos from last year since March of 2024, and that is... Yup, on May 2nd, 2024, right before the next day when ABC was going to announce their summer schedule, CBS announced that this day, not only announcing their fall, winter, and spring schedule, but they announced that along with Rate the Cake and The Price is Right at Night, they're finally reviving a game show, and that is Hollywood Squares since June 4th, 2004, almost 21 years prior. Not Hip Hop, West Virginia, Nashville, Museum, nor Celebrity Squares, just Hollywood. I'll talk about how the revival was born. On May 2nd, 2024, this greenlit revival was announced somewhere in January 2025 as part of its mid-season lineup. The actress Drew Barrymore will be the co-executive producer and as the Secret Square. Means that she will appear in every episode. However, no host has been announced yet. On June 11th, 2024, almost a month later, Nate Burleson is officially the host of this game. People thought Drew Barrymore was the host, but she isn't. I took a wild guess about Kenan Thompson, but I'm mostly wrong. Sometimes, wild guesses are worth a shot. On November 13th, they announced that Hollywood Squares will premiere on January 9th, 2025. But there is one problem. This show was delayed due to the infamous ongoing wildfires in Los Angeles and surrounding areas. This series got delayed 1 week later. The same delay happened on January 9, 2021. This is where Teapot's Amazing Greenlit was supposed to premiere, but it somehow premiered early morning in the next day. I guess their intro took longer than they thought. On January 14th, before the show premieres, CBS got some extra paprika with their own revival. It also scheduled an episode to air after its coverage of an NFL divisional playoff game on January 19th, which was after the Bills vs. Ravens game. Finally, let's talk about the format. Everything during my predictions with this format was almost perfect. The first thing that I got it wrong was the round itself. Most of the time the Secret Square appears for the rest of the game, sometimes after round 1. Good thing about this is that the Secret Square will appear at the home audience. Sometimes we get 3 rounds, $1,000, $2,500, and $5,000, depending on how much time we're spending in one episode. When time runs up before the round ended, in round 2, they get $500 per square, $1,000 per square in round 3. And the second one that I got wrong was the bonus game. I was expecting about the bonus round keys, but this one's different. There's 9 celebrities based on their questions. You have to answer all of them within 60 seconds without passing or getting incorrect. You must find the $25,000 envelope, and if you did find it, you win. Otherwise, they will reveal who got the envelope. Reminds me of the bonus game from The Price is Right, and ladies and gentlemen, that's how you remake Hollywood Squares. And one more thing, on January 23rd, CBS decided to treat this show one more time to premiere their special week-long daytime run starting on January 27th because it was so amazing, and that's how it's done. No point for this remaster to return on ABC. Let's leave it as it is. And one last thing for real. This show was renewed for a second run on February 20th of this year. And now, let's talk about an actual game show that is never going to return. If we talk about a game show that is never going to return, sadly, that is Lucky 13, a game show hosted by Gina Rodriguez and Shaquille O'Neal based on the true or false question genre. If you guys don't know how this works, hear me out. 2 complete games are played per episode, involving a group of 13 contestants. At the start of each game, one contestant is chosen at random and asked a series of 13 true-false questions, but is not immediately told which of their responses are correct. After answering all of the questions, the contestant is given the opportunity to change any one answer if they wish by using a Pepsi play. Thank you, Pepsi. The contestant must then choose a lucky range that they believe contains their actual number of correct answers given, with cash values set to according to the table below. If the lucky range is anything other than 13, they also choose a lucky number in that range that represents their guess at the exact number of correct answers. The winnings for the lucky ranges are 1 to 3 for $5,000, 4 to 6 for $15,000, 7 to 9 for $25,000, 10 to 12 for $100,000, and 13 for $1 million. The answers are then revealed one at a time, in a different order than they were asked. Near the end of the sequence, the hosts offer a guaranteed cash prize that is equal to a fraction of the money at stake. The contestant may accept this offer and end the game early, or reveal the rest of the answers. If the contestant has chosen the correct lucky range, they win the money associated with it and can receive an additional $25,000 if they have also chosen the correct lucky number. If their number of correct answers falls outside their lucky range, they live with nothing. That is more like a surefire game over. I do remember an Origami King game show from Paper Mario, Shy Guys finished last. So far in this game, 7 of contestants walk out of here with nothing. There were 2 magically delicious minutes sponsored by Lucky Charms. This was on episodes 2 and 5. If you watched my ABC Summer Fun and Games Bad News, you knew this show lasted 10 episodes without a top prize winner. And worse, nobody got 13 questions right. The only thing if the show should have renewed is that the fact is the Pepsi play rules. You could have changed more than one question, known as refresh the questions. Or if you lose for every question right, you could have left with at least $100. It sucks that despite ABC's was the highest rated premieres for our summer series, advertising revenue fell below Studio One's expectations. On November 14, 2024, it was reported that Lucky 13 had not been renewed for a second season by ABC, and that Studio One was restructuring its operations to unlock and protect the value of the format. Looks like we are not predicting this show anymore. That sucks. And that's all for these shows are not going to be predicted on ABC ever again. One show that was revived on a different network, and one show that is never looking back. So which game shows would you like to see return this summer of 2025? Leave a comment and share. Like and subscribe if you want to see the next part, which we will talk about the recap of last year's. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.